My name is Sammy, and I am the author of Trauma, a PTSD blog for Healthy Place. Today, I wanted to talk about reclaiming your power after enduring trauma, or after your existing trauma gets set off. Now, recently, I had an event occur that really set me into a spiral, and it felt as though I was regressing. I felt all of the similar feelings that I had felt as a child when I first endured my trauma. And so it took me a little bit, took me a couple of weeks to find my grounding and really find it within me to practice these 6 tips that I am going to share with you today. But once I started implementing them, it's like something just shifted and I was able to kind of grow back into myself and feel a lot more like myself and more connected to who I am and who I want to be. So the first thing that I did was I found ways to connect with my community. So I joined a local yoga studio and began attending classes, meeting up with women in the area who have been through similar things and who have similar interests, so that I felt like I had a group who I could relate to, a safe group of people who I could really be myself with and share what I was going through and work toward healing. The second thing I did was I really started taking care of myself. So I made myself do something positive for my body every day, whether that's walking, yoga, running, just dancing to my favorite music. I also made sure that I was eating meals throughout the day, eating enough protein, getting enough energy, drinking enough water. That's something that I tend to stop doing. I stopped taking care of myself. I forget to eat when I'm really going through it, so I made a conscious effort to remember to do that and to follow through on it. The third thing I did was I created a routine that I could look forward to. So every morning I refuse to look at social media or text or anything like that. I simply wake up, have my coffee, eat my breakfast, put on good music, read a book, I'll journal for a little bit, meditate, and just set the tone for the day. I kind of make it my me time before I jump into work. And then at the end of the day, similar, I unwind in a way that feels good for me. So again, I'll read instead of scrolling on TikTok for hours, which is okay sometimes, but I will do things that really feel good for me and help me unwind and kind of turn off the rest of the day. You know, I separate myself from any drama that occurred during the day and I let myself just unwind and relax. The fourth thing I do is journal without any judgment. So I just let myself write. I sit down, I sit on my bed or whether I go out my balcony, sit at my desk. Doesn't really matter wherever I feel most comfortable, I'll sit down and I'll just free write. And usually once I'm done writing, I will feel so much better because I will have gotten out so much that was on my mind that I didn't even know was on my mind. And it sort of makes sense of everything that I am feeling and helps me separate from it and look at it from a more objective standpoint and also just feel free of it in a sense. The fifth thing I do is I cultivate a warm and inviting space. So in my apartment, as you can see in my background, I have string lights, I have essential oil diffuser, and little posters that make me happy of the moon. I love the moon. I'll put things around my apartment like candles, and I'll burn incense, just anything that really lifts my spirits and makes me feel welcome in my apartment. I will do that for myself so that I can feel more at home. I make sure my space is clear and decluttered so that I feel like I'm at peace, and that really does wonders for my mental health. And the sixth and last thing that I do, and that I have been doing a lot better lately, is setting boundaries and saying no to things that I don't want to do, people I don't want to see, and it can feel hard at first. You might feel like you're being selfish or you might feel guilty rejecting someone, but you have a right to say no to something you don't want to do. You have a right to reject someone that you don't want to be with. You have a right to put up boundaries that best serve you. This is your life, and you should you deserve to focus on putting yourself and your needs first and doing what makes you feel the most empowered. So that has been probably the most important thing that I've done to reclaim my power when I have felt so powerless in the past. If you have any tips that you would like to share in the comments below, I would love to hear them. But these are my 6 tried and true tips that I always circle back to when I'm going through it. So I wish you the best. I hope these were helpful, and I hope you have a great week.